Welcome to another episode of Soul Sentred, the podcast. I'm your host, Jaynie Morris, and I'm excited to have your company once again for a fabulous episode where each and every time we have a guest on that has something to share with us all around good health, well-being, fitness, and of course, longevity. My guest today is Antoinette Bekos, and I have known her for quite some time, so I don't even need to say to you that I've been stalking her, and that's the reason that I brought her to you. I've actually brought her to you today because she has an incredible story to tell, not just about her life and her career that has led her to where she is right now in a runaway sensation in Australia, for those of you who are tuning in from overseas. However, all of the machinations behind that took her from a vision that she had, a collaboration that she created with a really good friend of hers, and a product that's really revolutionary. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Soul Sentred, the podcast, with my very special guest, Antoinette Bekos.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm really well, actually.
That's
Very well.
Good. You're looking fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a while since we've seen each other, but
Absolutely.
yeah. Now, Antoinette, as I said in the introduction, you've had a celebrated career already. I wonder if you wouldn't mind just sharing with everybody, before we get into what you're doing now, share with everybody what you've been doing and especially in your career in the hair and beauty and makeup business.
So I've been a hair and makeup artist probably for about over 20 years now. We don't like to say too much about more than 20. As we know, it's longer than that. But so I started off in theatre. So I started off actually as a hairdresser, then went into theatre, then ran a TV network for about 10, 15 years. And then I decided to open up my own business in hair and makeup, which was about 8 years in Albert Park here in Melbourne. And so been doing that for a while now. And now I'm on to doing my own makeup brand, which I'm absolutely loving. Like you said, I've co-founded with one of my friends and a fellow makeup artist.
Yeah, pretty excited. We're going to get into that. One of the things that we're really enjoying with you at Soul Centre at the moment and moving forward, of course, Antoinette, is that you're writing for us in our Soul Sentred magazine, and you're giving great tips and ideas for our readers in the area of hair and makeup and well-being and taking care of yourself. So thank you for that.
Oh, God, I love it. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're getting great feedback.
Oh,
Everybody is loving what you've got to share, but you the reason that they're loving what you're sharing with us is you do have that expertise and experience that's a little bit different to others. I'm going to go out on the ledge here and say this. It's a little bit different because of your experience in the television and media world. Mm-hmm. You seem to have a take on the needs and the looks and the appearance of what people need or want outside of what those people actually need or want. So tell us about when you were in the media and you were doing that. Can you give us some insight and maybe a couple of little stories?
Oh, God. Well, it's interesting because a lot of it in media is a lot of people think that as hair and makeup artists, we get a say in what people look like on television. And it's never really like up to us. It's usually a collaboration with producers and directors and their management. So a lot of it comes from that sort of thing. So, and I like to be authentic with regards to how I look at people and give them tips, like in the magazine. I want it to be authentic. I want people to feel like they're comfortable and they're getting tips and tricks from me that they can actually use in everyday life. When you watch stuff and you see things, it all seems like you can't achieve it. And I want it to be achievable. I want it to be easy for people. So with regards to the hair and makeup world, though, in television, like I said, producers and stuff end up telling us how they've got to look. So it's trying to make sure that you're making someone look great, but also giving people what they want to see on television without it looking like too ridiculous or too over the top. I don't know if that's answered your...
It must be a fine balance, really.
It is. It's a really fine balance between, like you've got the talent who wants to look one way, and then you've got the producer that wants to look another way, and then there's me in the middle trying to make everyone happy. So that's where all the stories come from, Jaynie, where you're trying to balance that, making someone feel comfortable and look great on television with what the producers and what the look is meant to be for the show that you're working on.
What lessons have you learned over that period of your career that you've brought into where the things that you're doing now?
One thing I have learned is a lot of the time is listening to people and understanding where it's coming from. Do you know, a lot of it's coming from, insecurities about whatever or however they see themselves, and you're trying to tell them that that's actually not what they look like, or you're trying to help them feel comfortable. So a lot of it's got to do with understanding people and reading between the lines and making sure that you're making people feel comfortable. Like for me, it's not about me. It's about the person who's about to go on air, or it's about the talent that needs to be seen by everybody and feel comfortable. So a lot of people in our industry tend to take it on themselves to think it's about them, and it's not. It's never about us. We're there to do a job, and we're there to make people feel comfortable. So, at the end of the day, that's my main thing when it comes to looking after, whether it's talent or whether it's a client. I just want people to feel comfortable. I want them to feel heard. And, then when they feel heard and they feel comfortable, they'll look great and they'll present really well, I think.
How much over the years, how much do you feel making somebody, even guys, because guys use your products as well, how much do you feel, or what importance level do you see that people place on it to contribute to their self-confidence?
Oh, I think it's huge. And I think with this world of like social media and tutorials and this over information in the world and this oversaturation, I think it's really huge. I think it's quite big how people feel insecure about the way they look, and they just want to, and you look, and the beauty of makeup is, or hair is, that it does make you feel better when it looks good. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we'd like to believe that it doesn't. We'd like to believe that it's not important, but it is. Like it does make you feel good. It's like putting on a really nice top. It's the same thing, like if your hair looks good, you feel great, or if your face looks great, you feel great. Unfortunately, there's a huge importance put on it, but I think at the same token, like done well, I think you can actually feel good about yourself, and it doesn't have to be a lot, and it doesn't have to be like excessive. Natural, a little bit goes a long way. I always say the hair's more important, though. Always. Yeah, we have this conversation all the time.
You and I have this conversation.
Oh, God. For me, it's like if my hair looks great, and that's why the touch-up kit came about too, because like the touch-up kit is a little goes a long way.
Yeah, exactly. And I must say, for our audience who know that I'm a bit of a nomad and I live in lots of different places, and I was living back in Melbourne. I've lived in Melbourne several times over the course of my life, now being in my third act now, and I'm not living in Melbourne now. I'm living in another part of Australia. But gosh, I miss you. Selfishly, in regards to touching on that point of hair, I cannot get anybody to get my hair right. But anyway, moving on.
You can always come back every 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
We did have that conversation, which is really interesting, because that leads me to this question: is that as a celebrated hair and makeup stylist that you are, and the career that you've had, have you found that there's also an element of talent that you have to bring into when you're working with a client, like almost like a counsellor sometimes? And talk to us about that.
All the time. I think, again, that comes from being able to, like, I love people, thank God, and I love talking to people. So, and also I think, yes, the beauty of what we do is being able to get close to people and understand them. And again, and just listening, being there, hearing what they've got to say, reading between the lines. Sometimes, someone's saying something, understanding that, again, it's not about me. It's about them and how they feel, and making sure they feel heard.
Yeah.
And, when clients or talent feels heard and you're looking after them, I think it's just a really nice experience. And that's all you want people to have, a really nice experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes, like there's a lot of people that try and do too much, and sometimes they don't want a lot. Sometimes they just want a little bit, and that's enough for that session that they come and see.
Yeah, absolutely. Now tell us about how the collaboration came about, how the idea for T.U.K, the touch-up kit, came about, and why you think it's become this runaway success. So explain everything about it. And for our viewers of this podcast on the YouTube channel, I will show you mine in a minute, which is a bit needs replenishing. But anyway.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Share with us from the beginning.
Well, it was probably about over 3.5 years ago. Danielle and I met probably before that, probably about 5 years ago. And both of us have worked in the industry for a long time. Danielle looking after brides and red carpet, and myself being in television and photo shoots and commercial work. So we both realised that, like we'd do a wedding or we'd do a job, and a lot of the times women were trying to get all these products, shove them in their bag for a touch-up on the go. And we're like, there's got to be another way. As makeup artists, we condense everything to fit into our kits, because obviously, when I go on a job, I can't carry like everything. It's going to hurt. I'm going to hurt my back or whatever. So because we used to always condense, we thought there's got to be a way to do this for a consumer. So that's how the touch-up kit sort of came about. We thought there's got to, we're going to make a product that is interchangeable, and also you can choose your colours based on your skin tone. The other thing a lot of products have on the market is all these palettes, and you can't change them around. You have to buy the whole entire palette. You might use 2 or 3 colours, and then you throw it away. So there's a lot of waste in the industry. So we thought there's got to be, So that's how we came up with the touch-up kit. And it took a long time. It took 3 years to develop. So 3 years of we were going to give up a lot of the time. But we knew we were onto something. We knew that we had something to give. And also the industry is so overwhelming. Women walk into places like, I won't mention any names, but big places where there's lots of makeup, too much choice. And we thought, no, we're going to condense ours. We're not going to give too much choice for the reasons that, it's basic. You don't need a lot. As makeup artists, I carry 5 colours of foundations with me, and I can do anyone. I've probably got 20 or 30 people on a job, and I can do all of them because I intermix them. So we also wanted to bring that to consumers. We wanted to show them how mixing your colours, you'll get a really nice base, and you'll be able to go from summer to winter, no problem.
So talk to us about the process. You the two of you meet. You realise you have the same vision. You have this same idea. Where do you go then? What do you do? What do you?
That was the hardest part. So we started off trying to work out what type of makeup we'd need in the palette.
Yes.
For people to use. So that's how we started. And then we thought, okay, so this is what we need in a palette. This is what people carry to touch up with. And then from there, we sort of just, I think back and I'm like, I don't even know how we got to the end. All I know is that we needed to have the makeup be amazing, because I wasn't going to put my name to something that I didn't believe in, and same with Danielle. And it had to work really well. The other thing too is I've got highly sensitive skin, so it had to be skin friendly because I am quite allergic to a lot of things on the market. So that was the other thing. So once we had it formulated here, we unfortunately couldn't get it made here in the end, but we had it formulated here with a chemist in Melbourne. And then we had to work out how it was all going to fit, because we didn't want it to be bigger than an iPhone. We wanted it to be small enough. So then we had to have everything made from scratch. So nothing is done off the shelf. None of it's like a private label, put our name on it, because there's just nothing out there like that for us. And it had to perform, and it had to be skin friendly. So they were our main things. And like I said, it had to be small.
One, you mentioned before about there's so many different makeups, there's so many different products in the marketplace. I sort of, when you were saying that, I was thinking of the example of, because as you know, and as my audience knows, I'm very passionate about health and wellness in particular. And so I use the example of you walk into a pharmacy or a big, I won't mention any names, but a big, they're almost
makeup
like mini
store.
Supermarket places, and you've got rows I'll use this example. You want to get a vitamin C.
Yeah.
So you go in and you look, and there are vitamin C's from here to, the equator and back, and all different brands and all that sort of thing. And, you just get confused, and, you're not sort of, so you'll just take there'll be a value that you carry. It might be a financial value, or might be a quality value, or might be a brand loyalty value. And then you'll make that choice based on that. The internet shopping and online shopping has really taken off, especially since COVID, right? So using that as an example, and we'll come to that, you've launched the product, you've launched the touch-up kit. I keep calling it T.U.K, which is what it is, T.U.K online. Why did you make that decision initially?
Well, it's interesting because, like, we definitely would have loved to have a bricks and mortar or retail, but unfortunately now with retail, you have to have a presence before they even take you on.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, which we didn't know. We thought the same as you. We thought, oh, yeah, we can go and pitch ourselves to some retailer and they're going to take us on.
Yeah,
but unfortunately nowadays it goes that you have to have an online presence, or you have to have a social media presence, or you have to be a brand. Like, you have to establish this brand. And it takes ages before they even look at you for retail in those big mega stores or anything like that. So the only other way we could have done is if we opened up our own store where we had the product in it.
Yeah.
But at the stage, we thought, no, we're going to do it online because so many people can do makeup online nowadays. And we thought, because it's such a small curated range, it's not going to be hard. It was harder than what we thought it was going to be. But we thought it's not going to be hard for people to work out their colours. And if we give it a lot of education and we put a lot of backing behind it with our knowledge and help people and guide them through the process of buying the product, it's going to be easier. And it has. It's taken time, but it has really evolved into something that's really easy to buy online, thank Christ. But, eventually we'd love to definitely have retail. And the other thing too is talking about health and wellness. The one thing that was really important with the skin-friendly side of it is I do hear a lot of women, and you would know this, that go on about how they buy certain skin moisturisers or cleansers or toners for their face, and they're worried about everything that goes in it and what it's going to do to their face. But it blows my mind that so many women have no idea what ingredients are in their makeup. They've not even looked at it, and they're putting it on their face every day. But yeah, and that was another reason for me that was so passionate about making sure that whatever went into that, like no talc, no toxins, no parabens, nothing in our product for that reason, because it's like, hang on a minute, here you are talking to me or educating me on your skincare. And then when I say to them, well, what makeup are you using? And they tell me, and I'm like, have you looked at the ingredients in that? It's actually not good for you. Oh, really? They just automatically assume because it's on a shelf in some big retail place.
And it has a celebrity promoter and ambassador and so on and so forth.
Some of it's got stuff
really interesting.
I would never use half. And I think also too, because I do have severe allergies to a lot of things, and I can't put a lot of things on my skin. I do find that it blows my mind that people come and talk to me about like what makeup they're using, and then they're talking about what ingredients they're using on their skin. It's like, come on, guys, like let's all be real here. Like it's not actually really good for you. It's really quite toxic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting. You've used the words education a couple of times since we've started chatting today, and it's one of the things that I've always enjoyed in my relationship with you when it's come to, hair and makeup and so on and so forth, because you are such a great educator. One of the things that I really love that the two of you are doing with the business is that you have an education platform there. You show people. So when people, look at the concept of T.U.K, and then they go, that's great, I get it, I really love the concept, I agree with what the girls are saying about, why we should have this, but which one should I choose? What do I need? You actually cover that in everything that you do, which I think is fabulous. And I have seen a couple of times when you've been on the online shows as well, and I really like that you've included that in your mix of what you're doing to bring this product to everybody. because you are actually sharing the insights. You're sharing the ethos of the business. You're sharing the background. You're sharing why, the whys and the wherefores. And that's really important, Antoinette. And I think that's one of your success keys.
Thanks. Well, I think also too, because Danielle and I are both very much on the same page. We like to be authentic, and we like to also be able to tell people, you know, as makeup artists, you know, we want to be able to share our knowledge. We want to make people feel like they can do this. Do you know, a lot of women, you know, get to a certain age and a certain stage and they think, oh, they give up on putting on makeup altogether because they're like, oh, it's all too hard. It's, you know, we want to make sure that we are empowering women to understand that it's okay. Like you don't need to, you know, sit there and watch a 2-hour tutorial on how to contour yourself. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it can be
exactly.
basic, it can be simple, it can be easy, and it doesn't have to be like, you know, we don't want women to feel like they should just no longer wear makeup or it's too hard. Do you know what I mean? Like that's one of our biggest things. That's why we want to educate. That's why we want to help and want to empower. Like when people ask questions, I love talking about it. I love explaining it and trying to make them feel like, you know, this isn't hard. You can do this. It's okay.
When you made the decision to go into this side of the industry and into this world, you know, and to start out with a brand new startup in an industry that already has
Saturated.
Yeah. What were the challenges that you personally had, or what were the things that you were saying to yourself in the beginning, good and bad? What were you doing to get yourself into a place where you went, no, you know what, I'm pressing go on this?
It's I think it's just that belief in knowing that we have a really amazing product, and we knew that it was missing in the industry. Like even though it's saturated, we wanted to make it easy, because after having heard from women over 20 years that they're just giving up, they're not interested in doing it anymore. They're like, it's all too hard, it's all too overwhelming. We thought, don't be like that. Like there's got to be a better way. And unfortunately, like, you know, originally we started as a touch-up kit, and it's become so much more than just a touch-up kit. Now everyone uses it. I use it every day as my actual makeup. So it's become like a makeup kit, you know. But, yeah, we just wanted to make sure that women didn't give up, and we just knew that we had something. We knew we had like something different and something a little bit more that we had to offer to the industry.
Well,
and the negative part, what would I say?
yeah.
Look, there's sometimes where you just, like you just said, it's saturated market. How are we going to cut through? How's this going to be one of those things where people are just going to love it and want it? How do we take it to the next level to make sure that it gets out there on a bigger scale? And that's where we're battling at the moment. But we've got an amazing team of people around us which are helping, which is making, and that's the thing, just meeting different people along our journey when we need them to be part of the team has probably empowered us to keep going.
Did you ever feel there was a point in the early stages that you just went, nah, I'm not going to do this?
All the time. And there was a lot of, oh my God, we're crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you overcome that?
Do you know what's interesting? It's funny because when I have those moments, Danielle's here. Like she's all up and she's like, don't be ridiculous, we can do this. And then when she had those moments, I'd be like, don't be stupid, we can do that. So I think having a business partner has helped sort of like, yes, every time I'm down, she was up. Every time she was down, I was up. So it was interesting how we were both helping each other to get through those moments of like, no, it's okay, we can do this, we can do this. Or the other thing that we found too is we always, when we were feeling like that, someone would come along to go, hey girls, are you crazy? This is great. We can do this and we can do that. And we go, okay, let's do it. Let's give it a go. So don't get me wrong, we've made lots of mistakes, but through those mistakes, we have really found our way to where we are today. Do you know what I mean? Like we have really, I don't know, those mistakes have always made us grow and realise, okay, we won't go back there again. And we've just kept moving forward and pushing with it. And, yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't know, just there's that belief and there's that.
Yeah. What do you personally do to keep your partnership between the two of you healthy? Because there's bound to be, I mean, working with somebody else in the same industry, both, you know, have achieved such great levels in your industry individually. Now you're collaborating. Now you're in on, and you're all in on one goal, one daily focus. What do you do personally to keep that relationship healthy, and how do you balance everything? Because it's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I think for both of us, I think it's more about the fact that, like you said, we've got one goal and we both have each other's backs. Like, we both want to achieve the same thing. I think that's really important. Like, I think it's important that both business partners have the same vision, you know, and where they want the business to get to. And I think also too, we put boundaries around, like, you know, we have our own lives outside of the business. So she has her children, I have mine, my child and my husband and my friends. And I think not crossing those over has been good, like in regards to, don't get me wrong, the kids all know each other, the husbands all know each other. That part's great. But I think we also have those boundaries where we have our own lives outside of the business, which I think is really important.
Yeah. What now I'm going to, for those of you who are watching us on our Soul Sentred YouTube, I'm going to show you my dirty. Have we got that on a camera shot? Yes, we do. Oh my gosh, it's been well used.
There you go. It has been well used, which is a good thing.
It has been well used. But I guess the reason I wanted to bring mine out is to show all the folks at home the size of it. And what you said before was one of the things that the two of you wanted to create was something that was nice and thin, could just slip into your bag. This travels everywhere with me. It's absolutely, and you're right, because in the past I've always had, especially when I go out at nighttime,
the bulky makeup bag.
Like, how do I put, like, what if my eye, what if this, what if that, what if that? Yeah, like, so, you know, the big bags that you take out when you're going out at nighttime, girls and guys, we don't need to take big bags out with us. We just need to take our clutch bags, right?
Exactly.
You know, and pop this in with our phone and our keys and happy days. It's a great product. The brushes are amazing. I'm so excited for both of you on this. I wanted to ask you, though, what's next for you personally?
For me personally, holiday? No. Can I say that?
Yeah, of course.
No. I don't know, actually. I haven't thought about that. Usually I have a 5-year plan and I always have all these ideas and things. At the moment, I think I'm just focused on this. And I just think that I don't know what my next plans are. I think maybe another salon or something. Maybe back into the hair and makeup world. Okay. I have gone back into the TV world, so I am working in TV again. Freelancing. Yeah. So that's been fun. Yeah, we'll just see. I'm hoping T.U.K gets to a point where I'm working on that full time, to be honest.
It'd be great to see this product in retail stores. Only from, I mean, I know that online shopping is convenient. I'm an online shopper.
Yes.
You know, I do various things I do get online or on automatic order, which I find is amazing in regards to, like, 30 years ago when I was actually in a corporate position where the products that we had, you could only get online, and people used to go, oh, that's an automatic order, and people would say, oh, that's terrible, you shouldn't do that, and now
everybody's doing
it. So I love it from that perspective. But I'm also one of those people that likes to go into the store,
feel it,
touch it, So I think it would be great. I can't wait for the day to come where this beautiful product is actually in retail. But in the meantime, of course, we have all of your talents and all of your expertise in our month. I'm just going to grab the latest issue of Soul Sentred, the magazine. And we've got you in our bi-monthly magazine there. We've really appreciated you coming in today and talking to us at Soul Sentred, the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we're excited. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the product, but I'm a big fan of yours, and congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful watching your journey and seeing how you've gone, and also sharing with us today, because it just also goes to show if you've got a vision, if you've got a dream, if there's something that you believe can serve and help others, that you can start up at any time.
I agree.
You know,
I
and
agree.
just so what would your advice be to somebody who's listening now who's thinking, I've got a product or I've got an idea or I've got something, but I'm a bit scared. I don't know how to start or what to do. What would your advice be to them?
I would definitely say do your research. That's one thing. A business plan is really important. That's really important. And go for it, because like I say this to my son, because at the start when I first did T.U.K, he's like, are you okay? Like, everything going to be all right? And I remember saying to him, you know what? If I don't do it, I'll never know. I can always go back to working for someone. I could always go back to, my other life if I needed to. But, there was one thing that I wasn't going to do, settle and not know what it was like if I didn't give it a go. And I always say to him, you've got to give something a try. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, that's okay. You just got to pivot and go back. Do you know what I mean? Back to what you know best. Like, I could always work for people. So, I think it's important for people to just feel comfortable in knowing that, there's nothing wrong with giving it a go. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, you haven't really lost anything other than a bit of time. Just as long as you don't invest too much time before it doesn't work. That's the other advice.
Exactly. Thank you so much for joining us on Soul Sentred, the podcast, Antoinette. And look forward to the next issue of Soul Sentred magazine and some more of your great insights.
Thank you.
And I think we'll have you back on in the future again. I think there's a little bit more we need to explore with you as well.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us today again on another episode of Soul Sentred, the podcast. Hope you've enjoyed this. Now you know what to do. If you've enjoyed it, I'd love you just to click that little like. If there's been some thoughts in this interview that we've had with Antoinette in regards to like her products or the insight that she shared about career or even startup, and you've thought of somebody that might be interested in hearing about that, well, share this as well. Pop the comments below wherever you're listening to Soul Sentred, the podcast. Subscribe. And of course, Soul Sentred magazine, mentioned it before. You know what to do. Go to soulcenter.com, that's Soul Sentred with an S, and subscribe there, and you'll never miss out on any of our issues of our Soul Sentred magazine. I'm Jaynie Morris. It's been great to have your pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to have your company once again on Soul Sentred, the magazine. And until next time, have a great day.